Hello Exiles, and today I thought I would bring you a few little tips and tricks that I have learnt after now completing the campaign, and I will run through that with you in a second. But let's just say, wow, there's been a lot of criticism, there's been a lot of praise, and we're going to have a quick chat about it in this video. But before we get there, thank you for everyone that joined me on my subathon on Friday going into Saturday. It was very, very funny, and it was a very good night. Thank you for everyone that joined me and all your support. We streamed for a total of around about 20 hours in total. By the time I was coming off, I was going into the middle of Act 3. So thank you for everyone who did that, and fully appreciate it. For everyone else, if you'd like to subscribe, if you have appreciated, if you'd not, then have a listen to this video, and if you do like my content, then throw us a subscribe. With that being said, let's jump into this. So I have literally just finished the campaign. I'm going to put a / so you can see here, / played. So we did it in 1 day, 10 hours. And I did it 1 day, 10 hours and 5 minutes. I've literally finished. I then went to the bathroom, made myself a drink, grabbed something to eat, and then I had to think about this video. So 1 day, 10 hours, that's what, 34 hours in total. Now, a good thing to note though is the first 3 acts took me 19 hours. Then the next 3 acts in Cruel only took me 10. So the second set of 3 acts, though they may be more difficult, you got to bear in mind you are doing now a lot more damage. So it was a hell of a lot faster. Plus, you know where to go, you know what you need to do in terms of the bosses and which ones give you respect points and which zones you can just fly straight through, and you kind of have an idea of where you need to go. That is obviously what helped me go through the zones. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to run through little tips and tricks of what I would advise is going to be the best things to do in terms of helping you get through these zones faster, just in terms of helping you get through the campaign. Now the first thing that I'd probably advise you is sockets. It's probably the most crucial thing that I would advise you to do is make sure that you are getting sockets. You're probably going to ask me now, well, how do you get sockets? Any gear that you have that has any sockets on them, I don't think I have any currently because I keep using them and I keep breaking them down. No. So any items that you have that has a empty socket, if you take it to your salvage bench and salvage it, you will then get some Artificer's shards, which will then eventually turn into an Artificer's orb. This will then add a socket to any of your items. Then you can then socket runes into your gear. So these are helpful for either getting bits that you need, i.e. damage or resistances or life or mana regen or whatever it may be. There is obviously a whole ton of runes here, as you can see, that I've been picking up as we've been going through the acts. That is obviously probably the most important thing that I would advise you to try and do, because it can help bridge the gap in your build if you are struggling. The second thing that I would advise you to do is, if while you're going through the early acts, is make sure that you are you are disenchanting your blue items and your rare items to get early transmutations and regal orbs so that you can start crafting. Once you have around about 20 to 30 transmutations, stop disenchanting your transmutations and instead start selling them for gold, okay? Because you will need quite a bit of gold. I would still advise you to disenchant your rares though, because as you can see here, I have 79 transmutations but only 4 regal orbs. Now I have been crafting as we've been going through the acts, so I think I probably used about 6 or 7 regals all in all. So I've only had about 10 regals, but look at the ratio and I've used probably about 20 transmutations. So from 99 to 10, there's a big jump there in terms of what can appear. Next thing is, every time you level up, I would advise you to always check the vendors. The vendors do reset after every single time that you level up. Now there are obviously vendors that will sell you armor. There you go, there's an example of sockets, by the way. There are vendors that will sell you armor and bows and chests, quivers, everything that you need. One little thing that I would advise you to do if you really want to is, if you don't want to go through it all, literally just type the word rare and it will just highlight them for you. If you're not a bow build or you're looking for something, have a quick look. Second thing to do, obviously because I'm doing grenades, I just typed in proj, because there was a lot of items that may have like projectile, or it may have like +3, +5. I got one that was +6 to projectile skills, which carried me through the campaign quite a bit. So you want to be looking to whatever you need. So if you're doing melee, then obviously you want to type in melee and see if there's anything that may have exactly like that, +1 to the level of all melee skills. That is obviously going to help you massively. So always make sure that you're checking these vendors. Like I said, one does weapons and armor, and the other one does like wands, staves and staffs and things, and flasks, and sometimes they do rings and amulets. So that's the second thing. Third thing is, when you are checking for any form of boots, so if you do get any boots drop, always have a look for movement speed. And there's a perfect example. 20% movement speed for 4,000 gold. Movement speed is going to be your friend for two reasons really. One, it's going to help you fly through the campaign. Two, it's going to help you dodge abilities or dodge boss mechanics or anything that may be within the room that you have to dodge. Movement speed, I feel in the second set of Act 1, 2 and 3, I could feel the movement speed because on my boots I managed to get 20% movement speed. That movement speed was a godsend. So prioritize that if you can in terms of moving. Next thing is make sure that you pick up all the flasks that you are required at that tier. Now if you look at my flask tab here, as you can see, I have been picking up nearly every single flask that you can see. So I picked up all these transcendents, then I've been picking up all the ultimate ones, and I've been throwing transmutations at it, augmentations, to try and get this 0.2 charges per second. Now you may think that that's not very good, but in a boss fight, when a boss fight can sometimes last for a couple minutes, that can sometimes be the difference between life or death. Now with that also, I am taking down here on the tree, there is a node down here which has obviously life flask gain 0.15 charges per second and increased flash charges gained. So obviously they are then helping me in terms of gaining these flash charges back. If you can also get it on your mana, then it's a double bonus, because then you will always, it doesn't matter whether you're in a boss arena, as long as you are able to consistently, as long as you've got a bit of regen, as long as you are consistently able to put the damage output and stay alive, you will get charges for both your life and your mana constantly. So this is very crucial. Next thing is your charms. Now I feel that with charms they are very situational. So what I was doing at certain points when I was going back through the campaign, I remembered that there was a particular zone that was just full of poison, so I would obviously keep a poison charm in my inventory and swap that out. So there's a particular area called the Venom, can't remember the name of it, Venom Prison I think it's called, in Act 3. Downstairs there is tons and tons of snakes. They all give, where is it? It's around here somewhere. Where the hell is it? Why can't I see it? It was here anyway. There is an area here. Venom Crypts. There you go. Venom Crypts. That obviously would have a ton of poison. So what I would do is I would swap that out for this. If I then was going into, let's say, the Bog Witch, she does a ton of fire damage. I would then throw on a fire resistance charm, and I would swap and change them. It only takes literally 3 or 4 seconds to take a portal back to town, grab the charm you need, slam it, so transmute it, augment it, throw it on, and then I would then do the fight, and the fight would be a hell of a lot more comfortable, and I wouldn't die 15 times. Okay, I've literally survived with 1 charm through the whole campaign. I don't think we're going to get many more than that until we start getting into endgame maps. Next thing is, make sure that when you are leveling, if you are struggling within a specific zone, I've seen quite a few people saying I'm struggling, I can't get further, I'm struggling in this particular zone, and then I've looked at the zone and they're in a level 47 zone but they're only level 42 because they've tried to speed through the zone and skip certain mobs in certain areas and things like that. That is obviously going to be why you're struggling, because you are under leveled massively. If anything, stop, take it back a few zones and level up. just so that you are then stronger, you have more skill points, and don't fight in an area unless your damage is literally unbelievable. Then don't fight in an area where the zone is higher than you. Now, if you ever need to know what area the zone is, if you look in the top right corner here, it will say monster level, and the number will be the value of that zone. And then compare that to what level you are. So I'm currently level 66, so you want to compare that to obviously what you are going to be fighting against. And finally, the last piece of advice that I could probably give you is, whilst you are obviously going through the campaign, you do want to make sure that you are going through and checking that you are doing the side quests. Now, the most important thing that you need to look for is a little plus sign. So you can see on the crow bell here, there's a little plus on it, and on the loot there's a little plus. You need to make sure that you are doing all of these, because these little pluses will give you 2 weapon passive skill points, 2 weapon passive skill points. And if you go onto each act and literally just have a quick glance, you will see whether there's anything that is missing. Now, as you can see, all of these are all grey. Now, to give you an example, this one down here is not grey, but it doesn't, all it is literally is just a trader in the middle of the town that's just offering a few random items. I wasn't really that fussed about them, so you don't have to go and do them if you don't want to. It's more about the ones that have got the plus and the ones that give you some sort of an ability. See, like this one here, Toxic Bloom, I actually did this, but it didn't give me anything. It's literally just a rare mob, and that's it. These little tents are just literally packs of, it's just literally just 2 vendors, and one of them will sell you some items. All of the other skulls, obviously, you want to make sure that you are doing them. This venom is from the venom crypts. You want to make sure that you are going down there and doing that, and selecting from 3 vials which one you want. It will give you a permanent buff that will obviously help you. Now, I took mana regen. When you then do it again in Cruel, it does then give you something else entirely, which I will show you in a second. Again, whilst you're running through in Cruel, the skill points do slightly change. I'm not saying for every single one of them. Same for the loot, same for the crow bell, they do change. But for example, the King of the Mists does no longer give you spirit for Cruel. You do get some spirit later on, but as you can see on here, everything is grayed out because I've done everything apart from maybe little things dotted around, just because I'm not that bothered about it. It doesn't give me any form of bonus that I really care about. As you can see here, the Venom draft in the 3rd one I took, and I got I can't remember what it was that I got. For some reason it's not showing on here, but I took the red bottle here. As you can see, the red bottle is highlighted. Oh, I got chaos resistance, plus 10 to chaos resistance. Now, obviously this is obviously highlighted as the Trial of Chaos. I do have this, I just need to just go back and get it, and I'm going to assume that this is going to be a different Trial of the Chaos from the one that's in Act 3. But I'm not ready to go and do that just yet, because I feel that I need to start farming the end game. And this is the Atlas as it looks right now. I have literally arrived. I haven't done anything at all. I've literally just got here. I've got about 6 maps, 6 waystones, and I'm going to try and get my head around how we do these. But first of all, I want to try and see if I can get some resistances, because at the moment I don't really want to walk into a map and just get one shot. So that is the focus first of all. But yeah, that is basically it, guys. Just to let you know obviously what to look out for within maps and within the campaign, to try and get through it a little bit faster, and then from there we can then see obviously how you then go on from here. We then obviously have the Atlas tree, which we have here, and I am looking forward to doing this. I have been up now for about 16 hours again, so I am a little bit tired, but I do want to do a quick waystone here and there just to see how it is, and then I may get some sleep because I'm a little bit tired. But 34 hours, guys, I think that's a time to beat. It was a very fun campaign. I will admit that there are some little tweaks and things that I feel that need to be changed and need to be done. However, overall, very fun playthrough. Some of the lore telling was absolutely amazing. The whole section with the Val and Alva was just absolutely superb. The set design, the level design, just everything. And it makes me, when it ended in Cruel, and at the end of Act 3 I could see that it was going somewhere, and then it jumps you to here because obviously it doesn't show you Act 4, Act 5, Act 6 because of they're still building on it. It makes me want to carry on playing Act 4, 5 and 6 because I want to see where the story goes. So I am very excited to when they actually add that in. I know that there is quite a bit of negativity floating around at the moment with the fact that the loot items and loot drops are very low, that it's very tough, that it's very, you know, that things have not been balanced, the melee is struggling, what else is there, boss mechanics, things like that. There's many things that people have been either complaining about, I've seen on Reddit, I've seen on Twitter. At the end of the day, you need to realize that this is early access. This is not 1.0 release. They haven't just released the game. It's a case of that this is stuff that they will fix over the next couple months, if not in the next couple weeks. They will fine-tune it and they will get it perfect. Now, if anyone is unsure of this, if you don't know GGG and you don't know how they work, this is how they have worked for the last couple of years. Every single time they release a league, within around about 2 weeks at an absolute maximum, they usually then implement patches and they fix the issues, or if there's any problems or any balance issues, they will fix them within 2 weeks. They usually pull their finger out pretty quick because they will answer and they will want to respond to the community. That is just how they work. I will very much doubt that they will do exactly the same thing for this, and they will not put a blind eye against this. All of the queries and all of the issues that have been raised, I myself had a few issues. My PC kept freezing and kept turning off completely to the point that it was literally freezing my game and my PC. Now, when I've gone on the forums, it is a known bug, and there's like 24 pages on this one thread where it says that it's freezing people's PCs completely to the fact that they're having to hold down the power button to turn it off. I myself was a crop of that. I had it on Friday. I had to restart my stream 4 or 5 times, and again yesterday on Saturday. Again, I had to restart my stream 3 or 4 times because of this issue. But I know GGG, and I know that they are probably working their absolute hardest right now to get it up and running. They have already made a tweet recently to say that they have seen multiple changes. They've heard our comments, they've seen our messages, they've seen our posts on Reddit, they've seen our tweets, and there's a bunch of problems and issues and bugs and things that they are currently fixing. So all I'm going to ask you to do is stick with it, guys. We know GGG. If you are a long-term PoE player and a veteran, you will know deep down they will fix this. They will not let it lie. So just be patient, get to the end game, and just crack on. And at some point it will get updated, and then you will then see the difference. Other than that, guys, what I would like you to do, if you're still listening, is I want you to put down in the comments below 3 things. 1, what class did you pick? 2, where are you up to? And 3, how are you finding it so far? Have you come across any errors? Have you come across any bugs, any problems? You know, what's your verdict? Do you like it? You know, are you going to continue playing it? Are you going to give it a break? Tell me in the comments, guys. I would love to hear your feedback, and I'd love to hear what you thought of the game so far, overall, and obviously what you've played, because I'm curious as to how people have managed to get on and if they're struggling and things like that. Until the next video, guys, thank you for watching, and hopefully the next video that I'll be doing will be giving you some Atlas updates, and I potentially will be releasing my Act 1, 2 and 3 guide over the next couple of weeks, just because I do want to make it nice and informed and with a lot of detail, just so that people know where they are going. Thank you for watching, guys, and as always, stay sane.